Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to September's TBR. I'm so excited for fall reading time. I am in such a fall mood. It has been raining the past few days. It's been so gloomy. I had to put my little lamp on because the lighting is just so bad because it's been so gloomy out, but it's making me like literally be in just such a fall reading mood. You'll see on the books that I've chosen for this month's TBR that you guys are choosing blindly. A lot of them are fantasies and I want to try to get through some series I've been trying to get through or some books I've been trying to get to, but majority is fantasy romance, and there's a few mystery of romance, like regular romance, like thrown in there. But for September's TBR, I'm doing the same thing I did last month. I posted on my Instagram story a few little slides. I think there's 7 different stories that I posted, and I kind of colored in the books and I put emojis on them, and you guys just blindly chose left or right which book to choose. But last month I just completely did not put emojis that correlated with the books. I just put fun little emojis. This time I put emojis that I thought correlated with the stories in the book. This time they kind of make more sense. If you kind of thought more into the emojis, you may be able to guess the book that were underneath it. Obviously I'm going to show you the stories I put up and then the books that were underneath it. We'll go through all of the winners together. I have not looked at the polls since I posted them yesterday, so I'm excited to see what won. My TBR is pretty big for the whole like fall season, so I only put 7 books for you guys to choose from for September because there's a lot on my TBR for this month for like videos I'm filming, but I tried to make that my TBR like closely to the books that I want to read for different videos throughout the month, so it doesn't have to make sense to you guys, but it makes sense to me that these books are the ones that you are choosing from. So we're gonna get right into it. I'm gonna go to the stories and see which books you guys picked to win. I am so excited because there's some good ones in here and ones that I've been wanting to get to for a while, but I can never just choose myself, so I need you guys to do it for me. Let's get right into it. Let me go to my story and let's see which ones won. The first story I posted, wait, I don't remember which ones were underneath it. Hold on, I have to go to my pictures. Oh, okay. We'll talk about the emojis and then I'll explain the emojis and then I'll tell you guys which one won. The first one on the left side was a little book colored in with a pencil, a heart, and a little flag. And then the one on the right was a notebook, a fire emoji, and a heart. So the one on the left was Collided by Lauren Asher. This one I put a pencil because on the cover there's pencils, and then I put a heart, it's a romance, and a little race car flag. This is an F1 romance. This is part of the Dirty Air series. And I really want to get through the series. This is the second one in the Dirty Air series, so this was the one on the left. And then on the right we have Things I Wanted to Say But Never Did. I talked about this in my last TBR video that I posted that I wanted to read this, but it didn't win. This one I put the little journal because this takes place at a Lancaster prep. It's a school romance. And then I put a fire emoji because on the back it says that his intense gaze scorches my blood. I don't know. I literally read that line when I was putting these emojis in and I was like, okay, I'm gonna put a fire emoji. Plus this is actually a bully romance, so I don't know. I read like 30-40% of it and then I DNF'd it, but I really want to get through the whole series because I liked A Million Kisses in Your Lifetime and there's like 4 books in the series, I think. I'm not too sure. Then I put a heart just because it's a romance. So the left, which was Collided, got 41% and then the right got 59%. Things I Wanted to Say But Never Did by Monica Murphy has won. Our first book on the TBR is a romance. There's not too many romances you'll see in here, like I said, but this one, again, I DNF'd. I want to get back into it. Our first book has been chosen. So on the left there was, what are those called? Swords. There are Swords Crossing and A Crown, which I put because it's a fantasy romance, but it's also like kingdom, and I don't know really, but it just gave this. And the first one was Vow of Thieves by Mary E. Pearson. This is the second book in the duology of the Dance of Thieves series. I read that book in 2021. I'm pretty sure it's 2021, and it was so long ago, and I was kind of dipping my feet into fantasy and I didn't really know too much or like know what I liked in fantasy. And I feel like if I read Dance of Thieves now, I would enjoy it so much more. I would appreciate it so much more. But when I first read it, I was like, I can't really understand like the politics of fantasy. Like I've never really been in a fantasy world. It's hard when you're first getting into it. So I kind of went into blindly to that book, but I did enjoy it. I've had this on my TBR since I finished that for so long. It's such a beautiful book too. Both covers are just beautiful, but I've wanted to get to this for a while, but it's not one that I'll pick up. And then the one on the right, I put a little magical ball and a little stars because the one on the right is Blood and Honey by Shelby Morin, and the main girl in this is a witch, and I just felt like that kind of went along with it. There's like magic and stuff, but this is part of the Serpent and Dove trilogy. This is the second book. I read the first one I think sometime earlier this year, and it's basically just kind of like a forbidden romance, arranged marriage fantasy book. It was really good. It was really fast paced. It's a YA fantasy, and I remember really enjoying it because it was fast paced and the writing was pretty simple to understand, and the romance was pretty fun to go along with, and I loved the ending of it. But I have not gone to this one and it's been a while, so these are 2 that have been on my TBR for a really long time and like both part of a series I want to finish, so I decided to put them together, and they're both red, which is pretty cute. Let's go to the polls. Oh my god, it's 50-50 right now. Wait. Okay, if I slide up to like the amount of votes on the story, it actually gives me a like exact. Left got 19,575 votes. Right got 19,540 votes. So they're off by 30-ish votes. So the left won by like literally 30 votes. So that is Val Thieves by Mary E. Pearson. I honestly do not remember the story of the first one like at all. I remember like small little scenes, and I think I remember the ending just a little bit, but I'm definitely gonna have to read like a little bit of a spoiler summary of the first one before I read this. But I really just want to like complete some series before the year ends, and this one is definitely one of them. So this one has won by literally such a small little percentage. So the next one, the one on the left, is a hockey stick, and on the right is a lipstick. Now this one I feel like could be any hockey romance. If I was looking at this and I just saw the emojis in the covered book, I could literally pick any hockey romance and it probably could go with it. But hockey romance that it is a hockey romance, by the way. Can I stop saying hockey romance? It is The Game Plan by Michaela Smeltzer. I just recently got this and put it on my TBR, so I want to have like just one little romance like this to kind of break up what I'm going to be reading. I have not really heard much about this, but I really love the cover. You have the hockey little skates up there, and then down here it was a lipstick and heels, and that's why I put the lipstick. But I think this is like a hockey bad boy reputation. It's one of those hockey romances, so I don't know too much about it, but this one, it was the one on the left. And then on the right, I didn't have any romances to put with this one that I kind of wanted to read together, so I kind of put a romance fantasy, but I know it's a romance. So the one on the right, I put A Crown and a Castle, because the one on the right was A Dream So Wicked by Tassandra Odette, which is her newest release in the Entangled with Fae series, which I love so much. It's basically just princess retellings, and this one is, I think it's Sleeping Beauty. And on the front there's a castle, and I don't know, I thought I just gave princess vibes, so I put a crown, and that's this one. This one, again, it's a Sleeping Beauty retelling, but she includes like fae and magic and stuff like with the retelling, and she kind of like puts a little spin on it, and I love it so much. So those are the two on this one. Let's go see who won. Okay, so on the left we have 52%, and on the right we have 48%. That means our hockey romance has won. Honestly, I'm fine with that, because I think this could just be on my fall TBR, winter TBR, and I could get to this like eventually. But I'm happy that this one won, because again, there's so many fantasies I want to get to this month that I think a good break, I could read this. I don't know if this is a series or anything. I need to like look more into it, but I'm excited that this one won. So this next one, you guys were guessing, and you actually pretty much all got what was on this one. I want to just post these two next to each other just because I thought it would be funny, but I just want to tell you guys right now, both of them are on my TBR for September. I just thought that putting them next to each other and kind of giving the hints of the emojis would be really fun, because I know you guys would guess what was underneath them. And the two next to each other, I feel like it goes head to head. On the left, we have a bat emoji and little swords. So obviously that one was A Court of Silver Flames. This has been my TBR forever. I actually know for a fact I'm gonna get to this in the next few weeks. I'm gonna start listening to it, I think, just to get myself into it and then finish it, because I want to get to Throne of Glass really bad, and I just need to do this. This has been on my TBR since I read that series earlier this year, and it's just haunting me. It's like so annoyed that I haven't gotten to it yet, and it's just so thick. I just haven't been in the ACOTAR world, but I need to read this. I need to get to it, so it's on my TBR anyway if it doesn't win. But this one was the one on the left, and I just thought it was so funny putting these two next to each other, because on the right there's a dragon emoji and then there's a sword next to it. So I made them kind of similar, but just one was bat, like the Bat Boys, and one was a dragon, because the one next to it was Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros, and everyone was guessing that this one was Fourth Wing, and I feel like this one definitely won. I haven't looked at the polls obviously, but I have a feeling this one won. This one I'm actually reading, I think, sooner. I'm not too sure, but I know that I'm reading this in September. So guys, no matter what wins, which team you're on, these will be read. And if it's not in my September wrap up, you guys have like all free range to yell at me, but it should be in my September wrap up. Things are looking up this September. My TBR for September, aside from like the books that are in this, it's gonna be an exciting month. There's so many new releases that are just not included in this TBR, because some aren't out yet and some are for other videos, but I'm so excited. So let's see which one won. I have a feeling the Fourth Wing won, because once you see that dragon, you just know it's Fourth Wing. Left got 37% and right got 63%, so that's kind of won by a lot, and I knew it was going to. Also, if you're wondering, I got the arc of Fourth Wing. That's why I have the paperback. I got this months and months and months ago, and I'm so upset that it's just been sitting on my shelf. We are getting to it this month, finally, and don't worry, it will be in a vlog. You guys will get reactions within a vlog. I would not do that to you guys. Just read this on my own and not share any reactions, because I have been asked so much to read this, so don't worry, it will be read. Next two books we have, oh my god, I didn't even save what was underneath them. I think it's this one. So on the left, the emoji we have is a knife and a magnifying glass. So these two are actually mysteries. The one on the left is In My Dreams I Hold a Knife. This is kind of giving why I put the knife and the magnifying glass. It literally has a knife on the cover and it says knife, and it's a mystery. So this one I think is about a bunch of college friends, or they have a 10-year reunion from 6 friends from college. This is kind of giving like a dark academia mystery type feel, so I'm excited to get to this in the fall. Either way, if it doesn't win, it's on my fall TBR throughout like the rest of the fall. So this was the one on the left, and then the one on the right was kind of confusing to put like emojis for this one, because I was reading the summary and I was like, literally, how do I put emojis for this? And it doesn't even look like it's a mystery. The one on the right, it literally has headphones, 2 girls dancing, but I didn't mean it as like dancing. I'll explain. This one is Lisa Jewell's new release, None of This Is True, and I put the headphones because in the summary it says something about a podcast or something like that, and then I put the little dancing emojis because I just typed in friends and that was the first thing that came up, and there was like 2 girls that like meet a few times, and I think they like do a project on a podcast together, but then then one of them disappears. I don't know, but it's like there's two women that are involved, so I put that emoji. That's this one. They're both mysteries that I want to get to, especially her like new release, but also this is giving fall vibes, so I wouldn't be mad with either one winning. Okay, so the left got 52% and the right got 48%. So that one was a really close one, but the left won by 4%. This one will be added to the TBR. I feel like this will be like a fast mystery. I feel like whenever I'm reading a mystery thriller, like I kind of binge them because I just want to know what happens and I want to like get through it and like figure it out. You're like on a little mystery with all of them, so I'm excited about this one. I've been wanting to read this since last season, so I'm excited that it's now finally on my TBR. We have 2 more left. I wanted to add one more little romance poll just because, again, the books that are not in this video that are on my TBR, like all of them are pretty much fantasy except a couple, and I'm gonna need some palette cleansers. So the one on the left, I put a ghost and a heart, and this one was the Dead Romantics. For obvious reasons, I put the ghost, Dead Romantics, and the heart because it's a romance. And this one I've heard great things about. I wanted to read it so bad last year, but I just never really gravitated towards it. And then her new book just came out, The 7-Year Slip, and I've heard great things about that one. So both books I've seen great reviews on, and I'm just like really excited to get to this, but sometime this fall season if it doesn't win. But I do really want to read this. The one on the right is one that I have been wanting to get to for a hot minute now. It was in the same video last month, my TBR, one of the romances, and I put a little leaf, a heart, and rain. Now, it doesn't really make too much sense when you look at the cover. I mean, it makes sense to me because whenever I look at the cover of this book, I think there's leaves on it, but it's really flowers. But this is Funny Feelings by Tara Dewitt. This is, I think, a single father trope, and they're like stand-up comedians or something like that. But on the cover, I don't know why I think the flowers are leaves, but there's rain, it's a romance, so I put those emojis together. I'd be mad if either of these won. I feel like all of the books I put in this little TBR video, I wouldn't be mad with any of them winning. So the left got 31%. You guys don't like ghosts and hearts. You guys don't like those emojis. And the right got 69%. So this one won by like a landslide. I feel like this is like the most separated one, but I've been wanting to read this for so long because every time I hear people talk about this, they're just like obsessed with it. I have not heard anything like bad about this book, and I'm just like really excited. I feel like I want to get to this soon. I don't know. We'll see. I've been wanting to read this one for a while. I just haven't been able to like just pick it up, so now it's on my TBR. So the last two, what are the emojis? This one you guys kind of guessed. I was looking through some of the DMs and you guys guessed the one on the left where you were like questioning it, and on the one on the right you guys were like, this is giving Reputation. And every time I do this, well, I only did it one other time, but last time I did this, I put a disco ball on one book and I put a cherry on the other one, just like literally randomly, and you guys were like, this is giving Taylor vs. Harry. And I like subconsciously keep doing this because now one of these is giving Reputation. The one on the left is a red little, I think it's supposed to be blood, but like I just typed in red and that was like the first thing that came up, and then Queen next to it, which I feel like this one is like the most obvious because it's literally exactly what the title is. It's Red Queen. I've been wanting to get to this since I read Powerless by Lauren Roberts because people were saying if I liked that book, I would really like this series. I've had this on my TBR since last fall, winter I bought it, and I don't know why I never ended up getting to it. I think I saw like mixed reviews on it, but I want to just try it out, see for myself if I enjoy this, and I think it's a trilogy. I don't know how many books are in this, but this is the one that was on the left. And then the one on the right, I really want to get to sometime this fall winter season. Like I've been dying to read this because I saw Heather like is obsessed with this book, and I love Heather and her reviews, and literally anything that she talks about I'll probably read. But this author wrote one of my favorite books, like literally ever, my favorite duology ever. So this one is a snake and a little black emoji, and this one is Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. So this is the author of the Six of Crows duology, one of my favorite books, or two of my favorite books of like all time. I put the little snake because there's a snake on the front, and then the black just because it's a black cover. This one I have absolutely no idea what it's about. I don't even want to read the back of it. I kind of like low-key want to go into this blind, which I feel like you shouldn't go into fantasies blind because you can get confused very easily, but this is one of them that I'm just feeling like I should go into a blind. Left got 53% and right got 47%. So left has won by about 6%, so this one has not won. But I'm gonna put this on like my fall winter TBR anyway because I really want to get to it. I feel like it just gives those vibes. So this is why I'm not mad about any of these losing, because I have all these on my TBR for like October, November, so like I can get to them eventually. This is just the ones I'm gonna get to like immediately, like this month. Red Queen has won. I'm excited this is on my TBR. I've been looking at it recently because again, people are saying since I love Powerless, I may enjoy this one, so we shall see when I read it. But that is the 7th book of this TBR video. This was so fun. I loved doing this. I like figuring out the emojis that go with each little book. That was like giving more to it. Like instead of just picking random emojis, you guys actually could understand what I'm choosing. So that was really fun. And you guys were telling me how fun this is because you can try to figure it out before the video comes out. But now you guys know which books were underneath each of these emojis and colored in books, the blind books. If you wanted me to read any of the books that did not win, don't worry because these are on my TBR for honestly either this month, like according Court of Silver Flames or like the rest of fall winter, I really would love to read like all of these books. So do not worry, I will get to these some month in the near future, but this is our TBR for September. Now again, I have a bunch of other books that I want to read, the new releases, a few videos that I'm filming for other books, but these ones I'm going to try to incorporate into some videos, so you should see reading vlogs on majority of these. But here is our TBR for the month of September. Let's go back through them, shall we? Things I Wanted to Say But Never Did by Monica Murphy, Vow of Thieves by Mary E. Pearson. This cover is just so beautiful. The Game Plan by Michaela Smeltzer, Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. I'm nervous. I'm not gonna lie, I am really nervous. I was gonna read it when the hype was getting like really big, but I was in the middle of reading so many other books, and like this is the reason why I put it off so long, because I was gonna read it then, but like time passed and it got too far into the hype and like all the 5-star reviews and everyone raving about it and everyone telling me to read it and like seeing everyone love it, that I was like, okay, I might have to wait on this one. I might have to like just put this to the side, and I kind of like lost the want to read this, so I don't think I waited too long, but now's the time. So Fourth Wing. Then we have In My Dreams I Hold a Knife by Ashley Winstead, Funny Feelings by Tara Dewitt, and Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. I feel like this is a pretty diverse TBR. I wanted to give a few different genre options so it's not just like all the fantasies that I want to read this month. So we have a couple romances, a mystery, and then a few fantasies. This should be a fun month. I am literally, like I said, just in such a fall reading mood. I cannot tell you how excited I am to read all these fall books and get my little pumpkin coffees, and I don't know, it's just really giving this fall. I don't know why it's hitting harder than it did last fall, but it really is, and I'm so excited. So thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for anyone that participated on the stories. If you guessed correctly on the little emojis, amazing job. If you guys did enjoy doing this again, I'll do it again next month, because I always pick out like a TBR for the month, but I can just put them against each other again for you guys to choose. And again, it doesn't mean that some of these aren't on the TBR for the month. These are just ones I should get to like more immediately, more sooner, and now I could put them into videos, and it's just so fun now because I could just figure out which videos to incorporate these in. So with all that being said, thank you guys for watching, thank you guys for participating. I had so much fun. I hope you guys had so much fun, and I hope you enjoyed, and let me know if you did. And I'll see you hopefully in the next one. Bye!